Hi everyone, my name is Patrick A. Jackson, and I'm the Education Associate here at American Stage, and one of the co-playwrights for Fairy Tales Reimagined, Stories for a New World. I'm so excited that you're taking the time at home, at work, at school, or wherever you are to participate in our 2020-2021 Digital School Tour production and the first show in our family series. Before we get started today, I thought I could give you a little bit of a glimpse of the behind the scenes information to give you a deeper and richer experience for the production. So let's begin. First, let's talk about the synopsis of the play. A synopsis is a brief paragraph, usually 3 to 5 sentences, that tells the audience a little bit more about the show and what to expect. The synopsis of our show is: when the power goes out at Abuelo's, Mateo and his older sister, Isabella, are stuck with nothing to do. But Abuelo has other plans. With the turn of a page from the family storybook, some familiar classic fairy tales are reimagined in brand new ways, and Mateo and Isabella discover just how much fun and powerful sharing stories can be. All it takes is a little imagination. Fairy Tales Reimagined tells 3 different stories: Hansel and Gretel, Little Red Riding Hood, and Cinderella. They're classic fairy tales that you may know, Grimm's fairy tales to be exact, but we decided to adapt them. What that means is that we took the traditional tales and we reimagined them as something new. So you'll see Abuelo, Isabella, and Mateo put their own exciting twist on these classic stories. Let's talk a little bit about the characters that you'll see in today's production: Abuelo, Isabella, and Mateo. Mateo is 8 years old, and in the story of Hansel and Gretel, he plays Hansel, or Spider-Man. In Little Red, he plays the Big Bad Wolf, aka the Lobo. And in Cinderella, he plays the Prince. You'll see Mateo wears a blue Spider-Man shirt, and he has a really cool Spider-Man mask that he puts over his face, and he also has really cool superhero pants. The next character I'd like to talk to you about is Isabella. She is Mateo's older sister. She is a little hesitant about moving to this new town where they're living with their family, and she really misses everything back home. As the story progresses, Isabella finds a little bit more confidence in herself, and she even decides to play and pretend with her little brother. You'll see Isabella not only be Little Red in Little Red Riding Hood, she also plays Cinderella, and she plays Gretel, aka Serena Williams, or later on, Unicorn Serena Williams. Isabella wears a pink t-shirt and some really cool tie-dye sweatpants, and she even has a really cool red hoodie that she uses in Little Red to become the title character. Finally, let's talk about our last main character, Abuelo. Abuelo is the glue that holds the entire story together. He's the one that has the idea to tell the stories during this power outage night, and he really has a soft spot for the traditions that their family has developed and for Isabella and Mateo. You'll see Abuelo wearing an orange collared shirt, a fancy silk robe that I believe is one of his favorite things to wear, and some striped pajama pants. In the play, Abuelo plays the Good Witch and the Bad Witch, and he also plays the Fairy Madrino, or the Fairy Godfather, in Cinderella. You know, one of the very cool things about this production is not only that we are imagining or reimagining classic fairy tales, but you'll see the characters in this story reimagine everyday items in their house to use in the fairy tale. For example, some flashlights that we have that we may use during a power outage become the eyes for the Big Bad Wolf. And you'll see some really inventive creation on Mateo's part as he takes plantains, a basket, and duct tape to create Cinderella's tiara for her to wear to the ball. Oh, there's one other thing I wanted to point out about today's production. You may notice that Abuelo, Isabella, and Mateo not only speak English, but Spanish in this show. Now, if you're hearing words that are unfamiliar to you, that's perfectly okay. It's always cool to celebrate new words and new languages. So remember, in this digital production, you can pause the video and go to our study guide resources section on our website, americanstage.org, to learn more about what those words mean. And you may even be able to tune into some context clues in the scenes and the stories to figure out what those words mean.
Dancing the night away with her.
Colorín colorado, este cuento se acaba.
Thank you so much for taking the time to learn a little bit more about the behind-the-scenes magic that goes into making a production like Fairy Tales Reimagined. If you have any other questions, be sure to visit our website, americanstage.org, and go to our digital school tour page where you'll find resources like study guides and other additional activities for you to continue telling stories at home. And don't worry, even though we're here telling stories digitally, you can do the same thing at home. So we hope that you'll tell stories with your friends and families and send us videos. You can send those videos to education@americanstage.org. We hope you enjoy the production, and we can't wait to see you soon. And remember, all it takes to tell a story is a little bit of creativity and a lot of imagination.